investigations.
You know, with all the financial shenanigans that have gone over the years, the only person we've really brought to heel is Martha Stewart. And that's got to tell you something about just how tilted this thing is.
I've forgotten a little bit about Bernie Madoff, but...
Well, speaking of Bernie Madoff, who came up with payment for order flow?
Yeah,
right.
No, I understand, but he did serve his time in jail and everything. Later.
One guy and one woman. Generally, it seems like people don't go to jail for financial crimes, they pay fines. I think that's a fair statement.
That's fair.
Generally,
the Department of Justice has the criminal authorities.
Understood.
We have the civil.
That's right. And
over the past few weeks, there's been a lot of talk about retail possibly going down and protesting at the SEC because they have been failing to do their jobs and not properly enforcing the rules and regulations of the market, the rules and regulations that retail all have to follow. But seems like the hedge funds don't, and clearly are at an advantage right now when it comes to trading in the market and getting best price, payment for order flow, rerouting orders, rehypothecation, naked shorting, you name it. And, you know, in that interview when Gensler talked with Stewart, he talked about the enforcement and the DOJ. And unfortunately right now for us, the current president and former president are both under investigation for missing documents. So the DOJ is a little tied up right now. But I want to talk about this protest that's coming up. Exactly what are the demands? I mean, we say corruption, but what exactly are we looking for? I think that message needs to be clear to the SEC, and hopefully if we get some media attention, that needs to be made clear to the rest of the world. And we need to make sure that we don't go there and either making a fool out of ourselves or not have a mission or a mission statement or some demands when we get there. So I want to talk about that tonight. I want to get into the run we've had on AMC the past 2 days. We're up almost 50%. And I want to get into Congress and the spending, the omnibus bill. Why is there no money for the SEC? It's like the biggest joke that they can't go up against these guys because they don't have the funds. Yet we just signed another $1.7 trillion bill, and they designated exactly $0 for SEC enforcement, and that needs to start changing. So we're going to talk about that and a whole lot more. But before we get way too far ahead of ourselves,
cue the speeder.
This is the way.
Are you sure there are no more classified documents?
The president under...
Good evening, beautiful people. Guys, what's going on? It is Tuesday, January 17th, 2023, and we are talking tonight about the SEC enforcement, the protest that's going to go on down in D.C. in just about 10 days or so. I know a lot of people are looking forward to that. I haven't really exactly made up my mind on what I'm going to do yet. I'm going to talk about it more in the live stream, either tonight or tomorrow night. But I do want to get into a couple things. Now, when it comes to this protest, I just want to start off by saying that I think everyone, as a matter of fact, I know everyone is in agreement that this is meant to be a peaceful protest. We want to bring awareness to the struggle of retail right now. As far as leveling the playing field, we want a fair shake at the market. We would like better information. We would like more transparency. There's a lot of things that we would like. But I think it's important that we start off by saying that obviously we don't want any violence. We're not looking for an Occupy Wall Street 2.0. We're not going to be camping out down there. We're not looking for anything that resembles what happened at the Capitol 2 years ago. We simply want to bring awareness to what's going on and the corruption that we've been able to cover over the last couple years, and bring that message hopefully to a national stage, maybe get some more attention, some more light shown on this, and wake up Gary Gensler and the SEC, as well as the Congress and DOJ, whose responsibility it is to be protecting their constituents. So the article that I pulled up here is SEC plans to finalize 24 rules in 2023. This article is from Reuters. It was just a few days back on January 13th. They go into 16 rules that are slated for final in spring 2023. Number 1 on the list is climate change disclosure. Now, I don't know if this is going in order of how important they are to the SEC. I certainly hope not, because that is one of the last things on my mind right now. But as you go further down, we see here there's something about SPACs that they want to try to fix. And as we go further on down, they talk about prohibition against fraud, manipulation, and deception in connection with security-based swaps, prohibition against undue influence over CCOs, and disclosure of SBS positions. It goes into the amendments to securities transaction settlement cycle, how the SEC wants to shorten these stock trades from 2 days down to 1. And then the article goes on because there are 8 more rules here at the bottom that are slated for final in fall of 2023. These talk here about ESG scores, clearing agency governance, short sale disclosure reforms, loaner borrowing of securities, narrowing exemption for certain exchange members. There are a lot of things here that the SEC is contemplating, a lot of rule changes. And look, this might be a place for us to start. There are a few things in here that would really be a huge help, I think, to retail traders and helping them try to even this playing field. Now, I know Tony put in his Twitter the other day, he tweeted about the 22 different congressmen who voted against the Short Sale and Transparency Act. And I think that at least for the rally that's coming up at the SEC, we need to try to focus on what the SEC can internally handle, rule changes they can make and implement right now without needing to go and get some type of legislation, trying to get a bill to pass bipartisan that's going to help retail is going to be extremely difficult. I think it's important when we talk about these issues that we get specific, right? We can't just say corruption or manipulation as a whole. We need to really hone in on a few of the areas and touch on those that we really want to push forward for our agenda, things that we think will help us the most as retail investors. I think that's an important conversation to have, and I think that mission statement should be well established before even anyone gets on the road to head down to DC or whatever SEC building you're going to go protest at. And I'm going to leave you with this thought before we get into the omnibus bill and AMC. We live in a constitutional republic. If you are watching right now and you are a U.S. citizen living in the U.S., we have the right to assemble, we have the right to protest, and the right to have our voices heard to those who seem to have shut us out. And I think sometimes we take that for granted in this country. There are some countries right now in this world that you're not able to peacefully go and protest at all. To let this opportunity pass us by, I think would be a mistake. And I'm hoping I'm going to be able to get there. And shout out to those of you out there who started playing this. I know the Marine was one of the big people who tried to push to get permits and what else was necessary for this to become legit. So thank you to those people who have sacrificed their time to do this. All right, so let's touch on AMC real quick before I let you go. I'm going to tell you what the next video is going to be about. What in the world's going on with AMC shares? So we know we're up over just about 50% in the last couple days. Benzinga here is talking about some of the volatility with the meme stocks, and that Bed Bath & Beyond is with very high short interest right now, is squeezing a little. They talk about the short interest as 22% of the shares being sold. But look, I'm very excited about taking a little bit of a run. I think Avatar 2 is having an impact. Seeing the numbers coming back. Megan had a great opening. I think things are starting to turn around just a little bit. I don't know if the entire market's going to do that. I think we're still going to be in a bear market. I still don't think we've hit bottom yet. But as long as we are trending in the right direction, it's good to see. I'm glad we have gotten out of that below 5 range. Hopefully we can hold this number. And those of you guys who know the Massalorian know that Mass is not going to get excited off of a move like this. When we get back towards talking about new all-time highs, that will really get Mass excited. Till then, it's going to be the wait-and-see game. And just for tomorrow, a quick heads up, I'm working on a video right now about Congress and the $1.7 trillion omnibus spending bill that was just passed before the first of the year. I want to talk about what's in it and what isn't, and the process that Congress uses in order to sneak these bills past the American people and fill it with a bunch of nonsense. I want to go over that with you guys tomorrow. I'm also going to give you guys hopefully an update on share intel if I've been able to get in touch with the CEO of their company. Other than that, guys, thank you for getting me to 1,000 followers on Twitter, guys. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I appreciate all the follows and all the feedback. Hopefully we can find some time either tonight or tomorrow night to go live. I'm really going to be looking for feedback, whether it be in the comments or in the chat in the live stream. What is it that retail really wants from the SEC? What corruption and manipulation do we want them to take a hard look at and get fixed? I think that's going to be an important conversation to have as we lead up to that day. All right, guys, I'm going to let you go. As always, thank you for all the views, the likes, the comments. My new subscribers, my OGs, I appreciate each and every one of you. We are here to break the wheel. This is Ape Nation. I'm the Massalorian, and I'm out.